Still on vacation and still have vacation brain, even more so today, but I am keeping my commitment to Tuesday, Transformational Tuesdays live. I didn't send out a reminder because, again, I'm on Hawaii time and I was like, what day is it? I was lounging by the ocean and remembered it was Tuesday and I wanted to keep my commitment. So, anyway, if you're strolling by and you're clicking on this video, I encourage you to stick around with me for a little bit. Maybe watch a couple of my other videos, get a sense of this channel. I call it the Soul Nurturer channel. I've gone back and forth with different names, like just Soul Nurtured, Nurtured Soul. I don't know. That's where I'm landing right now. And the intention was just to show up for anyone out there in need of support, anyone on a spiritual path, anyone recognizing that they were a soul having a human experience and could use some guidance from someone like me who's been on this journey for a long time. Getting into my sage years. Oh, Jamie is here. Hello, Jamie. I can barely see because I'm sitting in the bedroom and the sunlight is coming through, so I can't really see my screen, but I'm delighted that you're here. Maybe you can help me fine tune my topic. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, it's about honoring the journey. Actually, Jamie, maybe in the chat you can write what this channel means to you. Well, and for me, I have a hard time describing it, and even describing my work. My traditional, my background was my undergrad was in psychology. My goal was to become a traditional mental health therapist. I was doing my own healing work at the time, many moons ago, and when I went to traditional therapy, I felt unseen, unheard, unhealed. And so, not to say there's some amazing therapists out there, just on my particular journey of unfolding, I was drawn to more alternative work. And also, I knew early on I had a mission to support and help others heal, reclaim their soul potential, their soul essence. And so, with much prayer, I was drawn to hypnotherapy. Initially, that was my opening step into alternative healing. And I've done many, many trainings since then, and that was a long time ago. So along the lines of unfolding, realizing my work is about reclaiming soul essence. The soul essence that came into the world that got hidden, pushed in the shadow, in order to feel safe in the world. And that there's I explain this in other videos, so you can go watch other videos. But anyway, I'm welcoming you here. If you feel drawn to me, pay attention to your intuition, your instincts, your own guidance. My goal as a soul guide is to guide you back to your soul wisdom so that you can navigate more from that place of knowing your authentic nature and what choices are best to support that, rather than the conditioned self. And the other distinction I make is the wounded self or the empowered self. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I am in Hawaii at the time on vacation, and I'm sweating and I have the air on, but it's, hey, it's not a bad problem to have because I live in Washington State and it's cold there right now. Anyway, Jamie, how are you? And do you have any questions? Or here's the topic I wanted to talk about. It's the day before Valentine's Day, which I do not celebrate. I do not give it a lot of energy other than I think of, there's a collective consciousness on Valentine's Day. I feel like for me, every day is a day to celebrate love, whether it is self-love or love for your partner, love for your family. But, nonetheless, it is the month of love. So I wanted to talk about, I think I made a topic and I'm not sure what I wrote, loving your authentic self, or I don't even remember what I wrote for the title. I'll probably change it. But what a journey it is of self-acceptance and self-love for your unfolding journey. And that is where we start. That is the place to start for everything. We're out there, this Valentine's Day is such a conditioned holiday. It's such a, I think it's a, what's the word I'm looking for? Commercial holiday. Big business, right? Love is big business. Everybody wants love, but Here's the thing, love is not outside of us. It's not in a special dinner or a special Valentine's Day gift. It isn't one day, it is every day. It is how we love ourselves and reclaim ourselves and connect, reclaim our authentic selves, our soul essence, that we can begin the true love affair, the love of the gift of our life, the love of the unfolding, the love of our own unique gifts that often come from our wounds. The gift of just finally getting to this place after, some people who have been on the healing journey for a long time, and, I'm one of them. And I teach this, and I still have times where I think, oh, I can see the disparity of full blast love myself, full blast in my authentic self, and the old conditioned self of people pleasing. And this was my topic that came to me by the ocean today. When the freedom of no longer caring what other people think about you, right? And the reason the topic came is I noticed, so I'll just tell you a little story and what happened at the ocean today, and then I'll read your comments. And I see that, hi, Jamie. Let me just see. Oh, thank you so much. She says she loves my live teachings. Thank you so much. I'm having a hard time seeing the chat because it's on glare. But I think I found the setting that will move the chat box over to the video once it's posted live. But still, Jamie, once this is up, the live is over, the end of the stream is over, please do comment underneath the video. Every comment underneath the video generates more, gets it out in the, I always say I want to puts it out in the YouTube, ethers, the algorithm or whatever. I don't know the tech stuff. So this difficulty in fully loving ourselves because we care too much what other people think about us. I want to put a pin in that for a minute, and I want to say, speaking of technical stuff, have you been noticing any technical difficulties? There's a lot going on right now with Aquarius. Of course, it's still in Aquarius season, winding up, going towards Pisces season on the 19th. But now, of course, with Pluto in Aquarius, Mercury in Aquarius, Mars in Aquarius, and Venus is going to be moving into Aquarius, very much Aquarian energy. And I think I've been noticing electronic glitches, almost like a Mercury retrograde on steroids, every single day. Even, little things like I just put a new battery in my mouse, not working. I signed up for a whale watching tour, sent the forms in, showed up. Nope, forms were not received, even though I had a confirmation, all kinds of glitchy things. So anyway, we have a car that comes with the place we're renting or at, and the car was having a weird issue, took it to get it serviced, and said, okay, we're good now, and then had the same problem. The guy said, can't tell you, nothing's wrong. Anyway, and now the car's working. And somebody else is here. Well, hey, Deb, I have not heard from you in a long time. Welcome, my friend. How are you? Let's just pause for a moment before I get more into the topic. And I want to know from Jamie and Deb and anybody watching this, after it's posted after the live, how have you been doing? What are you noticing? And I imagine right now we're all kind of in our own unique waking up to the conditioned way we've been, waking up to where we have held ourselves back, settled, denied ourselves, even maybe gave up on trying for the things that our soul was calling us to. And okay, so I'm gonna check on the chat every once in a while. So keep chatting, ladies. Ask questions if you want. But I am curious. I'd love to get the collective temperature. What's happening out there? What are you noticing? What are you feeling? What is your experience like? So two things. That saying, wherever you go, there you are. I love, when we're in our day-to-day routines, we can get so lost in our day-to-day patterns and unconscious patterns. And it's harder to track ourselves because we're in our own habitat doing our regular things. So, but when you take yourself out of your routine, like I am on vacation, or you take yourself to a new experience or whatever you do that is breaking pattern, you begin to see more consciously your patterns. And so I've had the great fortune, the great gift of coming back to this place in Hawaii. And we came not last year, but the very end of 2022 in November, but I wanted to come during whale season. And so we're here in February. So last time I was here, I actually did a video on this about not feeling worthy of what you desire. That's when it became really alive for me, and I noticed it in myself. I noticed it in my clients. We can talk a good game about, worthy, I'm worthy, I'm worthy, but the behavior may say something different, right? So last time I was here, I noticed I wasn't letting myself do the things I wanted to do. Don't worry, I'm going to tie this all together. This is what I do in my sessions. So I'll start, listening to my client, unfolding what's going on, and opening up with questions, what's going on more and more. And then I always sort of find a way to weave it all together for the session. And that's what I try to do with these videos. So stay with me. I tend to wander about. I'm an external processor. So, so for that, and you can go look at that video. It's like, a year and a half ago. And I noticed I was watching people out there with their lawn chairs right by the ocean and in the pool and all that. And while I was grateful to be here, I noticed I was limiting myself. And unconsciously, it was something about not feeling worthy. I was already feeling like, gosh, I'm in Hawaii. Isn't that enough? And I just noticed that. So this year, I made a note. I was going to do all the things I didn't let myself do last time. So this is connected to up-leveling worthiness, but it's also mostly connected to self-love. Because just try this on. When you truly love yourself unconditionally, with full acceptance, just as you are, right where you are, what does that provide you with? Now, that's the space we want to live and have our being from, right? Well, I will be truthful in that, I always say I practice what I post, not practice what I preach, but practice what I post, practice what I teach. And we are always, there's different layers of us being revealed. Like, okay, there's more worthiness to work on. There's more of this. But the self-love piece. So I noticed, like last time, oh yeah, I want to do that. And I didn't let myself do it. This year it was like, definitely doing the things I want to do. And so it's been great, did the whale watching tour, swam a lot in the ocean, and took myself down to where I wanted to sit, right by this beautiful tree where a lot of people were sitting, and I went and claimed that space for myself. Like, yeah, I have a right to be here too. And this is really old stuff for me, the claiming my space, saying, yeah, I have a right to be here too, right? And so then I was sitting there, and a woman was sitting over a little bit to my left, and I heard her talking to somebody about living in Seattle. I said, wow, I'm from Washington too. And so we started chatting. And I have this thing about me, people just open up and share their deepest. And we got into a beautiful conversation, and I'm not going to share that, but I will share the theme of that conversation that I think is relevant to most of us. And she turned a significant age, and she was telling me she was celebrating. And I said, what is your wish for your birthday? And she said, I wish, I can't remember what she said, and I don't want to disclose that. Let me just back that up. But I will tell you, she told me her sign, and I just did a little intuitive something for her. And the thing that came out of it was, you need to stop caring what people think about you, don't you? And she was like, yes, I do. It's been too long. I'm this age now. My whole life I've cared more about what other people think about my life than I do. Or it was kind of, and it just opened up so much for me. I thought about how many times, like right now, I'm not at my maybe, I don't want to say normal. No, my regular weight. I'm in a new normal weight. I'm older now. I had a thyroid issue. I'm a little, carrying a little bit of extra love. And I noticed I was embarrassed to just walk around in my bathing suit and have the whole sarong around me and everything, and wanted to have my arms covered and all this. And I was like, you know what? I'm caring about, the moment she said that, I just, like, all the files in my mind showed up about all the ways I was caring too much about what other people thought about me and covering my arms. They don't care what are they going to say? Oh my goodness, that woman over there is enjoying herself too much and she shouldn't, because, think about the stories we tell ourselves and where we hold ourselves back. But again, the healing remedy is self-love and self-acceptance. And that is where we need to practice. And that can be the simple little place we focus in on. When we are holding ourselves back, we're not being our authentic selves, we're in the people-pleasing mode. When we're in people-pleasing mode, I find that to be often connected to trauma. It's the fawn response. And people with trauma are so focused, trauma in the past, that, even if you've done a lot of healing with it, as I have, you're going to have that heightened trauma awareness, right? One of the things that happens is, like, putting all your feelers out to make sure you're going to be safe in the environment you're in. You don't want to draw too much attention, right? And because the unconscious, the primal brain is like, yeah, you've been harmed before, so play it safe. Well, these are things that we're always needing to override. And, I would say, put your hand over your heart, remind yourself of the thing you need to be reminded of. I'm safe, I'm lovable, I accept myself, this is my life, these are my choices, I have a right to be here, it's safe to be here. Tell me if any of these ring true for you. I have permission to choose what is best for me, whatever rings true for you. Maybe you want to add your own. Notice where you're holding yourself back, where, you're not loving yourself as fully as you can. So love is really it's the dissolver of the fear. It is, oh, the light just changed. Yay. I was like, the light was right in my eyes. Dissolver of fear. Love expands our soul. Love gives way to possibilities. So let me just see what we have here. So, okay. Jamie, I just want to see, having a lot of frustrating situations. I love that. I'm going to read this because it's really relevant for a lot of people right now. Jamie says, I think that she's having frustrating situations. She feels there are tests that to see if she will stand up for how she feels and allow herself to express how she feels and to love herself unconditionally through it. Absolutely. I do believe we are certainly in Earth School. That I got that terminology from Gary Zukav, who wrote a great book years ago called Seat of the Soul, that we are in Earth School, right? Our soul is here, and we're here to continue to evolve, expand, deliver the gifts that Creator has put within us. And, yes, oftentimes, it reminds me of a quote, Jamie, oftentimes, the tests do show up. But there's a quote that ties into what I'm talking about with self-love and, just loving in general. And that is, when you set an intention for love, everything but love shows up first, right? And why? Because we have to see what are the blocks, the barriers to loving more deeply and first ourselves. Every person is mirroring back to you the relationship you have with yourself. And so another way to cut cords with caring what other people think about you is to remember that it's more about, if we're triggered or we're held back because we're concerned about what somebody thinks about us, it's truly what we are believing about ourselves that matters. And if you can go down to that root and sit with that and say, what am I believing about myself right here? And diffuse that with some self-love, some self-acceptance, and a reframe. Like, I'm to this or to that. Maybe I'm just right, you know. Um, oh, Jamie, you're such a sweetheart. I love you. She's saying, this is so good. I literally just, I looked at the clock and said, oh my gosh, I got to go do a video and I don't know what I'm going to talk about. But I do believe we are all so connected and that whatever's on my heart is somewhere needed out there. So one thing to do is to, since it's Transformational Tuesday, I always do this with my clients, and it's good to do with yourself to self-assess. Where are you with self-love on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being really, really well, doing great, and 1 not so much. And one way to arrive at that too is think about what you're desiring from other people. You know, say love for you means being considered, um, being valued, um, acts of kindness. You know, the love languages. Um, what is it that you're desiring from others that you think if you had that, you would feel amazing? Those are entry points to reclaiming what you need for yourself to fill your own well with love, and then you will draw that person in or that situation in that you're desiring. Not before, until you've done your inner work and until you've reclaimed and up-leveled some of those, like your self-acceptance, your self-worth, your worthiness, your you're valuing yourself, all those things you're desiring from others. You're going to draw in people that will mirror your wounds and not your possibilities, right? This is why we tend to get in those repeat patterns. I'm going to take another look here. I am learning. I think I'm at it just says, I don't know what your number is because it's cut off. All it looks like a half. So I know you're at a higher level than that, Jamie. So, and these fluctuate too. We could have bad days and we're feeling in our stuff, right? And, I don't know, I can't access as much love as I need. And those are times to practice. Remember to practice. And this is where it's helpful to remember there's an inner child inside of you that lived in conditions that they had no control over, no choice about. They just had to manage and navigate. And that's how we learn who we are. Not who we are. That's who we learn who we need to be in order to be safe. We become our conditioned self. And transformation and healing requires loving yourself so much that I'm feeling like this, that conditioned self that's holding us back. It's like that shy the soul is like, is it safe to come out now? Is it safe now? Is it safe to be me? Is it safe to say all I want to say? And that's a really, I teach this, but I still work with it. I find myself in times, oh, I better not say that. And it, for me, it's not so much always about, I'm worried about what they may think about me, although I do have that. And here I am on a YouTube channel. I guess I'm trying to inoculate myself to that. Like, I'll just put myself way out there and people can say whatever they want. And I'm going to learn and grow through it. Right. So let me just look at these little comments here. Oh, Deb says self-love is where I'm at when I became a mother. And ever since until today, it's been all about service to others. Oh, my dear, you are speaking my language, because this has really become the heart of my I call it my soul medicine, my gifting to help others, as to reclaim the many ways where we are. And by the way, there's a distinction I make: service or sacrifice. We're sacrificing ourselves in order to give to others what they need while we're stepping over ourselves. And the healing remedy there is to say, I've been cultivating all of this beautiful compassion and love and awareness and wisdom. That's for you. That's for you, Deb. That's for you, Jamie. That's for you, anyone watching. And this is the essence of my work, to notice what you're giving away on a daily basis. Are you starving for that? Are you hungry for that? Are you in need of what you offer to others? It's as simple and as complicated as this. Track yourself. What did you give away? What did you say? I'm constantly acknowledging and inspiring and uplifting others. And at the end of the day, I'm like, where do I need that? Right? I think this is how God wires us, so that there's a possibility of reclaiming and returning back to who we were created to be. Yes, excellent. Exactly what I'm talking about, Jamie. That's what I teach. Notice what you give and give it to yourself. And I'm not sure what you're saying, Deb. Then I go listening to Estes Tone. I don't know who that is, but you came when I was live. Thank you. Honored. Thank you. I'll check out that person. Anyway, so every day do that little check-in. Where am I today? First of all, this is something that's took me a long, long time to do, and I still have to check in. Where is your energy? This is one thing, especially if you're trying to practice more self-love. Is your energy just so out there with what other people are thinking and doing and their needs? Imagine, just close your eyes and say, I'm calling myself back. I'm calling myself back into my own heart, into my own body, into my own experience. There's a great quote by Byron Katie. She says, it's kind of relevant, maybe. Let's see. She says, we have to remember that there is our business, other people's business, and God's business. And we are meant to stay out of other people's business and God's business. I love that. I'm not worrying about everybody else anyway, coming back into your body. And I invite you to do this little practice. Just check, where is your energy? Where's your attention? How far away are you from your own heart? And practice this breathing into your heart and say, come back to you, come back to your essence, come back to your self-love, come back to all this wisdom you've gathered, all the lessons you have learned. I say lessons learned is wisdom earned. All that compassion that you offer to others, come back to it for yourself and just notice. But for me, for years, I could feel myself it sounds weird, but I could feel like my soul essence, like I wasn't embodied. Let's just say that I was not in my body. And so that's become a practice. I used to love myself. This is Deb, so I'm reclaiming that. Well, good. If you used to do it, you know your way back. You've got footprints to follow. Just walk yourself back to that used to, if you know that place. You watched your mom never love yourself. That's such a big point, because where do we learn most about being women? From our first teacher of that, and that is usually our mother. And when we're younger, we don't have the cognitive abilities to recognize our other possibilities. We think consciously, I'll be like her or nothing like her, but unconsciously, we're just drawing in as many references and resources that were available from that first teacher. And so it's no small task. It's like now you're reclaiming for yourself, but you're unhooking from all the stuff your mom learned, right? And if you have daughters, I don't know if you do, but I always say this to parents: when you do your inner work and you reclaim your soul, your kids get an immediate upgrade, right? They see you doing the work, and then it allows them to find their way easier. Okay, I got to wrap up soon, but I'm just going to see what else. Aileen, hello. I'm doing this practice. Love me more. Thank you for your dedication. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Appreciate that. Yeah. Yes, Deb. Every day is a reclaiming of ourselves. Every day. And the power of that is every day is a choice too, right? And my mantra for this new year has been, I can do better for me, and I'm worth that. I can do better. Honestly, I went through some hard years. The last 4 years, something happened in my life, and it sort of re-traumatized me, which was a gift because I didn't realize that level of trauma was in me. And I've been slowly coming out of my cocoon, reclaiming definitely a different person. And we're never, in fact, Deb, when you say I'm going to go, what I used to do, we're never going to go back. We need to go forward. We can bring forward things from the past that helped us, but it's all for the purpose of re-emerging more of you, re-emerging more of your potential and your possibilities. So, okay. Boy, Deb, you're bringing me to such topics today. And if I may, my point of view, and we're all entitled to how we work our journey, I have really come to a different place with the words letting go of trauma, letting go of this, letting go of that. Rather, I say we want to integrate, metabolize the issues like grief. We don't let go of grief. We metabolize it, we integrate, we strengthen, we cultivate, and then the experience fortifies us rather than this letting go. Because when we let go, I find, what happens when you say you let go of something? This is what I'm going off on a tangent. I got to wrap up because we have dinner reservations coming up soon. When you let go of something, it's similar to maybe losing it, like displacing it. And then a part of your psyche is going to be looking for that. Rather, we want to be present to it, conscious to it, say, what is this? This is part of your journey. Whatever's part of your journey is part of your medicine, your soul medicine. So you integrate it, you learn the lessons, and you celebrate the gifts that come from everything that has happened in our lives, right? All right. I love you all for being with me today. Thank you. I did keep my commitment. Whoever mentioned that. Yes. Tuesdays on at 5:55 on Pacific time. I'm on Hawaii time, so I had to reconfigure my brain. What time is it here? And I'm going to conclude my vacation back on the 15th, but I'll be back on next Tuesday, and also another video next year, next week. Next week will be a transformational topic. If there's anything you'd like to request. Also, I'll be talking about the full moon coming up. And, thanks for being with me. Do comment on the video as it goes when it's posted after I'm done streaming. And subscribe if you haven't. And send any requests for topics to cover. And if you haven't already had a 20-minute free consultation with me, I'll put my website underneath in the description. Feel free to request one of those. We can go over your soul chart. We can just talk about where you're at on your journey and assess what's needed for you to unfold your full potential. All right. Take good care. I love all of you, and I really appreciate everyone that shows up here with me. I know the journey we're in huge, intense, transformational times. I'll leave you with this thought that came to me yesterday as I was walking back from the beach. And it was, let's see if I can pull it up. Don't be afraid of the darkness, for you are carrying the sacred light. So just remember that. Okay. See you next time. Take good care. Thanks again. Love you all. Bye-bye.